breaking down the deals, data, and disruption shaping global markets. You're listening to The Daily Ledger with Dennis Sert.
Hey folks, it is Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. You're listening to The Daily Ledger Show, and I am your host, Dennis Sert. Great to be here with you tonight. We're going to do a quick sound check, and then we're going to get right into it. Sounds looking clean, hair looking on point. I think we're all set. We got a couple viewers already. I'm liking it. Yeah, we got some good stories we're going to get into today. We're going to talk about SpaceX riding high after IPO. SpaceX will buy AI startup Cursor for $60 billion. SpaceX leapfrogs Amazon to be the world's fifth most valuable company. Britain announces social media ban for children. Anthropic's dire marketing worked too well. We're going to talk about that. Snap finally debuts its long-awaited augmented reality AR glasses, specs, and oof, they aren't cheap. 60% of U.S. consumers say AI in brand messaging is a turnoff, survey finds. ChatGPT's market share slips below 50% for the first time. Robinhood's note on 10% layoffs shows blaming AI isn't cutting it. New Shrek 5 trailer reactions. Fans slam animation changes again. Zendaya's Felicia missing. And we're going to watch that trailer together. And we're going to end with Supergirl box office projections fall again. Could open lower than The Marvels and lose its opening weekend. Before we get into all that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow if you're on Instagram or TikTok. Make sure to send out the shorts, the TikToks, and the reels. I get a majority of the views from there. I have a lot of fun kind of editing it out. I edit everything myself with some AI tools, but it's not anyone else doing it. And I know a lot of podcasters in this space tend to hire someone to go ahead and edit their videos. So it's a little uncommon for someone to edit themselves. So here I am doing that. So that's exciting. So make sure to spread the word around. Cool. Let's just dive right in. So riding high from the New York Times, riding high after IPO, SpaceX will buy AI startup for $60 billion. SpaceX exercised its option to acquire Cursor in an all-stock deal, bolstering Elon Musk's ambitions in AI. Wow. So this story came out this morning. And so SpaceX had been kind of vying for Cursor, the months leading up to this month, up to their IPO. They had done a deal previously, but now they just outright acquired them now that SpaceX IPO'd. So it says here, SpaceX had struck an agreement with Cursor in April. So this is what I was saying, that gave it the option to purchase its parent company, Anysphere, in an all-stock deal after the rocket maker's IPO. The arrangement would allow us to build the world's most useful AI model, SpaceX said at the time. SpaceX did quite well today. Shares closed about 5% higher on Tuesday, and it's now valued more than $2.6 trillion. And it briefly passed some of the tech giants like Amazon, which is something the Financial Times across the pond kind of talked about in its own dedicated article here. I thought it was a good article. SpaceX climbed as much as 17% on Tuesday. Today, its third day of trading after Friday's debut, before ending the day 4.8% higher. SpaceX's valuation rose as high as $2.97 trillion on Tuesday. And here's a little cute graphic. Here's SpaceX past Amazon. SpaceX at 2.76 trillion, Amazon at 2.67. So it kind of goes into the numbers there. But yeah, so the big story is that they bought Cursor. Elon on X says it's humbling to consider that if we harness just 1 millionth of the sun's power for AI, that will be much more than 1 million times the intelligence of all of humanity. Yeah. So he's a big solar guy. I love the lack of punctuation too. I hate people who take themselves way too seriously. They put like fucking punctuation on everything. Like, oh, period here. It's like, oh, it's like, okay. Um, yeah. So it looks like I just saw terrafab.ai. I was curious on what it was. Looks like Elon's new project. Tesla, SpaceX, and XAI are launching the most epic chip building effort ever, combining logic, memory, and advanced packaging under one roof. Yeah, I think we might have talked about this. Yeah, it's kind of familiar. Anyways, so we talked about that. Britain announces social media ban for children. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said his government planned to bar children under 16 from social media following similar efforts in Australia and elsewhere. You know what's funny? It excludes Blue Sky. So it excludes Blue Sky. It's very silly because by excluding Blue Sky, it kind of breaks logical consistency because Blue Sky is a social media company. Why are they allowed? You know what I mean? Of course, the answer is because the liberals still need control of the institutions and they need to get to young people with their ideology. So that's why. Um, the government has faced growing pressure to act on the issue as public opinion has coalesced around the idea that more should be done to keep children safe online. See, and Australia has been kind of doing the same thing. We're kind of getting towards that digital ID because, like, I mean, let's just talk about this like adults. Like, you can't even access like pornography in several states in the US without essentially like having an ID slash age verified account. So it's like, okay, it's kind of a slippery slope. It's like, oh my God, you can't go on like, like whatever. You can't go on Pornhub if you're in Texas or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, how about the next thing is like, oh, well, we saw that you know, voted or donated money to the GOP. Now it's time for you to not drive your electric vehicle that we can remote access. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's kind of where things go. That's the direction in which things go when you have that digital ID. And then you look a little bit like China, which has been a technocracy. Really that had been beginning in like the 1970s. So it's like when them and the globalists were working together, and then they kind of the CCP kind of turned their back on the globalists, went in this direction of technocracy, social credit, everything. So we're kind of getting towards there. I think the EU and Canada really likes China in that respect. But anyways, so that's kind of what's going on here. Anthropic's dire marketing worked too well. The Wall Street Journal. Plus, SpaceX's cursor deal and AI struggles to replace stenographers. So here's Dario. I mean, Dario is such an ass. Like, he just needs to shut the fuck up. That's what he needs to do. Because he likes to write blogs. He's just like, oh, this is why, like, well, I was going to say, like, because the problem is I actually agree with certain things he says, like, AI is going to replace software engineers. I fully believe that. I think that like 90% of software engineers and white collar workers will be laid off eventually. It's going to be like a progressive layoff type thing. Because that remaining 10% can use AI to essentially do what the whole had already been doing and more, right? Just in terms of output. So that's kind of what Dario had said that I had agreed with, but he keeps going. He just like he writes these blogs and he's like, "Oh my god, like we need like an AI council to make sure that AI doesn't go off the rails or whatever." It's like, dude, you got to calm down, because then the US government, Trump, went in and was like, "Okay, yeah, well, you you know how mythos and fable are super powerful? Yeah. Well, now you can't use them anymore. Oh shit." And then he's gonna go back on his blog and be like, "You know what happened today? What the hell?" Like, So, anyways, I hate this new ad blocker that TechCrunch put in. Here, I have to. Luckily, I got this extension in there. Here we go. That gets rid of it. Snap finally debuts its long-awaited AR glasses specs, and oof, they aren't cheap. At a spatial AI convention in Long Beach on Tuesday today, Snap finally unveiled specs its long-awaited consumer smart glasses at $2,195. Oh my god! Like, when are they gonna learn? You don't like look at Apple. Apple tried to come out with the Apple Vision Pro, $3,500, and then no one bought it. Flopped. Like, let's not. Like, how about we don't? Look at Meta Ray-Bans, 350, doing great. All right, like, we got to get with the program. Consumers don't like to pay money. Okay, consumers don't like to pay that much. Like, outside of an iPhone, they ain't buying shit for shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, miss me with that 3,500. Miss me with that 2,195. Yeah. There's this thing in here that was so stupid. So apparently you can like play games and stuff. So this is what it looks like here. It's like this. Some people describe it as like bulky and like goggle like. And so, anyways, and yeah. So let's see, where was that? Oh yeah. Um. So I was just talking about what it looked like, goggle like, and then I was talking about some of the things it can do, like it can play games. So apparently, Snap has this feature where you can play multiplayer games between two users, but it's activated by two users looking at each other and making eye contact, and that's how you play a multiplayer game. Apparently, like, that's kind of gay, not gonna lie. Like, I ain't trying to look at no one. Like, I hit the gym. It's like, I don't even say hi to the receptionist anymore. I'm just on my fucking phone. Like, bitch, I'm just scrolling X. Like, all right, sign in, whatever. They say, if she says hi. If not, just shut the fuck up. Go. Like, like, I ain't trying to talk to no one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got time for that. I'm just trying to get big. And it's like, oh man, you want to play 8 ball? Sure. All right. Look right into my eyes, and this will be the next hour. It's like, okay, no. Like, give me a break. Contextual AI. Wow. Look at an object and then ask about it. See, this is cool because it'll enable like cheating on tests. I mean, let's just say how it is. Right. So yeah, so we'll see where that goes. Again, the ad block. TechCrunch, 60% of US consumers say AI in brand messaging is a turnoff. Survey finds. Consumers don't like AI. They really don't like it. It's only businesses that like AI. Getting cited by AI is easier than earning consumers' trust, according to a new report. Okay. As brands race to have their links appear in AI search results, consumers have grown more skeptical about whether they can actually trust the answers they're getting. 60% of users in the US say that brands that use AI in their messaging are a turnoff. 86% don't fully trust AI and still want to get original sources. Yeah, so consumers don't like AI. and they're kind of just now waking up to that. Some people are saying like, "Oh my God, it's Chinese propaganda because they want to win the AI race." Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I'm still AI first. Fuck you if you don't like AI. ChatGPT's market share slips below 50% for first time. Wow. So ChatGPT. So let's give credit where credit's due. After about like 4 months, they they finally broke 1 billion uh monthly active users. So that's kind of a big milestone. And 4 months ago they were at 900 million. So in February, um, so yeah, it kind of took them quite a long time to go from 900 million to 1 billion. Gemini kind of caught up. Uh, they had a huge kind of surge during that time. Um, yeah. So I think this is outdated because I know Gemini had hit like like around 900. They were kind of on the tail. Yeah, they were definitely around 900. So this chart is kind of off actually. Um, and then Meta AI for whatever reason is all the way on the bottom, but because they've integrated it into every Instagram, Facebook user, it's actually like technically ahead of everybody. Um, so yeah, I didn't like this chart very much, but whatever. So it kind of talks about that. Talking about ads. OpenAI started experimenting with ads in ChatGPT in February. The company has scaled the number of ads gradually. An average of 17% of daily active users were being served ads. Okay, so they're kind of slowly rolling it out. I haven't seen any, but I kind of stopped using ChatGPT. I'm mostly using Claude Code as well as Grok. I don't really have a need for ChatGPT. Claude Code obviously handles the coding stuff, software engineering, and then Grok handles kind of everything else, right? Like news aggregation, etc. Just general questions I might need, analysis for pictures, PDFs, whatever, searching through things gets the job done very well. I like the trajectory that Grok and SpaceX AI are on. Robinhood's note on 10% layoffs shows blaming AI isn't cutting it. It appears that using AI as a cover story for cutting jobs is fast falling out of fashion. So Robinhood cut 10% of its workforce. Didn't really talk about AI in the post. Kind of just talked about how I'm just general vague terms. We're going to continue hiring strategically, investing in heavily in top tier talent and utilizing frontier technologies to push our execution even further. Okay, so it means we're going to hire smarter people and use more AI. I mean, that's essentially what he's saying. And TechCrunch, kind of this Ram ire guy, didn't really get it. Robinhood is saying that they're laying off because of AI. They just said it without ever using the word AI. So kind of an L there. Okay. Some think it's a tacit allusion to the fact that the company's overhired following COVID and now are scaling back as expenses piling up. Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but AI really does boost your output to the point where it undermines the need for a bunch of cooks in the kitchen. So companies that recently did layoffs like GitLab, other tech companies have surged, spurred by record revenues, skyrocketing demand for cloud services. Yeah. Robinhood itself reported a 15% improvement in first quarter revenue in April. Yeah. And the company said its second quarter is looking better thanks to rising prediction market fees, subscription revenues, strong equity, and option trading volumes as markets stabilized. They probably had a good weekend with the Knicks. New Shrek 5 trailer reactions. Fans slam animation changes again. Zendaya's Felicia missing. I don't know. I don't really like first of all, why are they putting Zendaya in like literally everything? Like they're not beating the allegations. It's like, okay, let's lay off Zendaya, please. Like I've kind of had enough. Um yeah, I don't really like what they did with their faces. Like I what? Like they changed the animation style quite a bit. I don't know if I like it. Um so we're going to watch it here together. It's less than 90 seconds.
Once upon a time, a hideous ogre and a delusional donkey embarked on a journey to the magical city of further away.
Oh my God, it's happening. It's really happening. Do you know what that means? I need a makeover. Get my arms yoked and my back jacked, my ass added, maybe even tighten up my badonkadonk.
No, definitely not.
So what you're saying is Shrek and Donkey off on another...
No, don't say it.
Two stalwart friends.
I can't get over the
on a whirlwind
Donkey.
big city.
Ow! I'm caked up like a friggin' bakery.
And then you...
Want to date a snowman? Speed up, Shrek.
Nice.
You really can't help yourself, can you?
Hell to the no, I can't. Shrek and Donkey, two stalwart friends off on another whirlwind big city adventure. Oh, this is bad. Baby, come back.
Nice. They're in prison.
Any kind of fool could see.
That's a good song.
There was something in everything about you. Roxy!
Donkey!
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
Oh my God, Zendaya. Yeah, so they got the OGs, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Zendaya. Okay, like whatever. I mean, we're gonna see. Yeah, they didn't do the same mistake in the first trailer where they just kind of like had like the ogre kids or whatever. It's like they didn't have kind of Shrek himself. They didn't have Donkey. It's like those are kind of the guys that everyone cares about. So anyways, so yeah, supposedly the like to dislike ratio is pretty close. It's like 50-50. Take a look. I don't have the extension on this browser, but it's like 43K to like 42K or something dislikes. So wow. Yeah. Let's get back to yeah, so anyways, I don't know. I didn't really like it. Talking about that. Okay, last story. Supergirl box office projections fall again. Could open lower than the Marvels and lose its opening weekend. Oh my God. Like they should have never done Supergirl. They should have, maybe gone with a different DC superhero like Green Lantern or something. And it's like the casting was just terrible too. Like I don't like her as Supergirl. It's I don't know. She's not hot. I mean, I'm sorry. She kind of has this like masculine gaze, and it's just saying it how it is. Yeah, so it kind of goes into here. The numbers keep moving in the wrong direction. New box office tracking for Supergirl has fallen again. The latest estimates suggest the film may not only open below previous expectations, but could actually fail to take the top spot during its own debut weekend. Wow, how embarrassing. Worse yet, low end expectations put the film just below the opening of the Marvels, one of the most infamous superhero flops of all time. Yeah, the Marvels, I remember, just absolutely abysmal. I think it was 2023. I had so much fun tracking that dumpster fire. It did terrible. It was a huge flop. And it seems like this is going to do worse than that. So, wow, that is just impressive. Let's see. The latest box office revenue projections are at 45 million opening weekend. For comparison, Superman opened to 125 million domestically. Aquaman 67.8 million. Black Adam 67 million. The Flash 55 million, and this is going to be 45. Wow. Nice job, James Gunn. Nice job, DC. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, there's been so many flops. Star Wars, The Mandalorian, Grogu, just the worst Star Wars movie that came out by box office revenue. Just did terrible. It's just stop at this point. Supposedly Toy Story 5 is gonna beat Supergirl in box office revenue that weekend. The real problem is that Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 arrives 1 week earlier and is tracking for a massive debut between 165 million and 185 million domestically. Wow. Under normal circumstances, a second weekend film would be expected to surrender the top spot. However, the projections suggest that may not happen here. Oh my God. Wow. How embarrassing. Oof. Competition is getting fiercer. Summer 2026 has already produced several box office winners. Michael has become a global phenomenon, while horror movies like Obsession and Backrooms are having historic runs. Meanwhile, Toy Story 5 is expected to be one of the biggest animated releases Disney has launched, and followed right away by Illumination's Minions and Monsters. Yeah, so Supergirl is just going to be eaten alive. Oh my God. Okay, I think we're gonna end it there. Yeah, make sure to share all the shorts and reels and TikToks, and see you in the next one. Peace.